Today, we're going to dive into a very emotional story about jealousy, greed, and revenge. A story that shows what happens when you can't celebrate someone else's success and instead choose to destroy them. This is a 7-part story that will take you on a journey through the life of a woman whose bitterness didn't just hurt others, it completely destroyed everything she had built for 12 years. So settle in and pay close attention, because by the end of the story, you will learn a lesson about jealousy that you will carry with you for the rest of your life. Today's story takes us to Lagos, Nigeria, and there lived a woman named Folake Adeyemi. She was 38 years old and owned a catering business called Folake's Kitchen in Surulere. For 12 years, she had built her business into one of the most successful in the area. Her jollof rice was legendary, her small chops were the talk of every party. Customers loved her food. But if you asked her workers, they would tell you a completely different story. Folake was a wicked boss. She paid her workers almost nothing, always saying, "You are learning a trade, that's enough payment." She made them work until late hours while she went home to rest. She shouted at them in front of customers. But when the food was praised, she took all the credit. When anything went wrong, she blamed them. One of these workers was a 23-year-old girl named Bukola Ogunleye. Bukola came from a very poor family. After completing secondary school, her parents could no longer afford to send her to university, so her education ended there. Since then, she has done every kind of hustle, selling pure water on the street, working as a shop attendant, washing clothes for neighbors, but the pay was always too small, never enough to help her family or build any kind of future. That's when Bukola decided she needed a skill, something that could change her life. She loved cooking, so she chose catering. That's how she ended up at Folake's Kitchen. And just like the other workers, it had not been easy at all due to Folake's wickedness. Bukola had been there for almost 2 years now, suffering under Folake's cruelty every single day. Whenever Folake and her big workers were hired to cater events, she showed no mercy. One day, while serving at the big wedding in Lekki, she refused to give her workers food or allow them to buy any. They had been standing since 5 in the morning without a break. By 2 in the afternoon, their stomachs were screaming with hunger. Finally, one of the workers named Yemi gathered courage. "Ma, please, can we take small break to eat? We've been working for 9 hours." But can you believe that Folake looked up and laughed bitterly at the young Yemi? "Eat? You want to eat?" She shook her head. "When I was learning this trade, I worked for 3 days straight without food. 3 days! And you can't manage 9 hours? But ma, shut up!" Folake's voice exploded. "All of you are lazy, useless. If you were serious, hunger wouldn't even cross your mind." She slammed her hand on the counter. "You will finish this wedding order before anyone eats. I don't care if it takes until midnight. And if I hear one more complaint, you all lose this week's pay." The workers returned to their station, defeated and starving. That evening, Bukola, who had skipped breakfast to save money for her family, even fainted from hunger and exhaustion. The other workers splashed water on her face to wake her up, but even then, Folake showed no mercy. She just ordered Bukola to get up and continue working. But here's what Folake didn't know. While Bukola suffered in silence, she was watching everything. She was learning carefully how Folake priced her services, how she spoke to customers, how she managed orders, how she negotiated with suppliers. She kept on learning the entire catering business model because of a dream she had, a dream to one day own her very own catering business. Meanwhile, Folake continued her wicked ways, shouting, starving, slapping her workers whenever she felt like it. She was so sure, so confident that these poor girls beneath her would never amount to something. But Folake forgot something very important. The person you step on today might be standing above you tomorrow, and very soon she would learn that lesson in the most painful, devastating way possible. Drop a comment in the comment section if you want me to continue the story.